Are you at a stage in your campaign where you are ready to move and start making peace with the Republican Party, start making peace with Megyn Kelly, start making peace with people that you've been in battle with for the past 6 months or so?
Well, yeah, I think the party, I did not Megyn Kelly. I'm not interested in that. But I think with the party, yes. You know, I've been called by many, many people that are on the air with you saying, you know, Donald Trump, we have to get somebody else. And yet they're calling me at the top, you know, at the top level. I don't know what establishment means. I guess I was a member of the establishment 9 months ago, Joe, 8 months ago. But, you know, whatever the establishment is, who can define establishment?
But
I don't think there is.
But you do understand you need to make the turn, though, right?
Yeah, no,
I'm fine with
the turn. At the same time, we don't want to lose the edge because we still do have 2 more people left. And, you know, I think we're doing very well. We had a very big evening yesterday, actually, including the islands. As you know, we picked up 9 with the islands. We had, I guess, with 5. We picked up 5 yesterday, 5 wins yesterday, and that's pretty good. So we were very happy with yesterday. That turned out to be great. We had a really wonderful night. We had a really tremendous success. The Florida numbers were far greater than anybody thought possible.
It's incredible.
You know, you were against a very popular person in Florida, the state of Florida, and to have that kind of a victory where you win by just about 20 points was pretty amazing.
So what do you have to say about Marco Rubio? He's left the race. Would he be a guy that you would consider as a vice president if you were in that position?
Now can you answer that?
Well, it's just too early. You know, I just want to get it done. I'm a closer. I like closing deals first. I don't like to talk about it. And you know, but I've liked him until about 3 weeks ago when he started getting nasty. I mean, wow, he really got nasty. And then the problem is I get nastier than him. And then I win, and then you know, my numbers get hurt a little bit because you're so tough that people don't necessarily like it, but you do what you have to do, and you know, we have to win. But he, you know, I was very surprised when he started doing his Don Rickles routine on me, and it didn't work for him. It just didn't work. And he knows that. He admitted that it didn't work. It was. I think it was a big mistake.
So, Donald, you have been pretty confident that you can do this from the get-go. I think people now are realizing you are on a path to the nomination. Who are you talking to consistently, since we have some dire foreign policy issues percolating around the world right now? Who are you consulting with consistently so that you're ready on day one?
I'm speaking with myself, number one, because I have a very good brain and I've said a lot of things. In fact, in my book, in 2000, I talked about Osama bin Laden, and I do remember somebody putting the book in front of Joe, and Joe saying, no way he talked about it, no way he wrote about Osama bin Laden before the World Trade Center came down. And they said, no, he really did. And I remember Joe looking at it in the book saying, I don't believe it, that's amazing, okay? So I know what I'm doing, and I listen to a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people, and at the appropriate time, I'll tell you who the people are. But I speak to a lot of people. But my primary consultant is myself, and I have, you know, I have a good instinct for this stuff.
How would you describe Trump's foreign policy? Like earlier in the show, someone said neo-isolationist. How would you describe that?
I wouldn't say that at all. I was, you know, they like to say that in speaking with my very good friend Howard Stern, and, you know, long before the start of the war, I sort of said, well, maybe, I don't know. You know, it's the first time I was ever asked a question about going into Iraq. The fact is, I was opposed to the war in Iraq. It was a horrible mistake. At the same time, now that you have ISIS, we have to take ISIS out. I mean, they're cutting heads, they're drowning people in cages, and they're looking to do serious damage. I mean, if they ever had, you know, the problem you have today is weaponry. If we had, you know, if this was 50 years ago or 100 years ago where you fought by gun and by sword, I would have been out of there so fast. But the problem is you can't allow somebody to get the big weaponry.
So does that mean a ground war, ground troops?
Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means we have to take ISIS out, and I would consult with very good people. I would consult with the best people, and
You'll let us know who at some point.
We may need that. I would much prefer getting some of the other nations of our world involved. Let them do something for a change. I see where Russia backed out yesterday, which was interesting. You know, it's a very expensive process. People don't realize it is a very, very expensive process. And I can just imagine Putin with oil prices low, and every time he drops a bomb, it costs $1 million or something. And he's saying, wow, because, you know, that happened to them once before in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the thing that broke up the Soviet Union. The cost of Afghanistan was enormous. So I can just see Putin saying, this is more expensive than I thought, and he gets out. You know, at some point, we have to get back to rebuilding our country. Not rebuilding, to start to build it, because our country is crumbling.